last thing that I would like to demonstrate for the next version of pyDriveWire is I would like to demonstrate the ability to use it with Dragon computers and XRoar. So there are quite a few things that are different about the way that Dragon DOS works compared to HDB DOS and RS DOS. I'm going to show you what you need to have in order to make that work. So the first thing that you need is, of course, you need a copy of XRoar, which you can download from MikeyN6IL's website, just 6809.org.uk/XRoar. You can download it from here. I had to build it from source on my Mac so that I have the best performing version. Once you have XRoar, the next thing that you need, if you're going to be using your Dragon with DriveWire, you need to have a copy of DOS Plus. Specifically, you need to have the DOS Plus extender from Per Surratt. And you can get that from the Dragon forums, worldofdragon.org forums. There is a long discussion on here called specifically a DOS Plus extender. You can just search for DOS Plus extender in the search bar and you'll find this message on the forum. So I went all the way to page 12 and downloaded the latest version of this. I had asked Per to make a small bug fix so that it works properly with DriveWire 4 and pyDriveWire. So you would just download this zip file, and the contents of the zip file are a couple of different ROM files. If you're using the serial port on your real Dragon, you can use this dw4.rom. Of course, you have to burn this to an EEPROM. But if you're just doing emulation and you want to use the Becker port in, I think it also works, you can also get this to work in MAME, but I wanted to switch to XRoar because I know everything works there. You need this ROM file. So I've copied this ROM file to a convenient location on my computer. I have the BCK ROM here. I also have one demo disk. So what you would basically run, there are multiple ways to do this. Of course, Mikey is a command line user, so the easiest thing to do is you basically say, put a Becker port in the slot and run using this ROM. So this is basically all you need to do on XRoar side. On the pyDriveWire side, you do something very standard. It's the same as what you would do for a Coco. You just run pyDriveWire. You ask it to listen on a port, and the standard port for XRoar is the same as on a Coco. So just like this, real simple. Okay, so now you can actually start XRoar, and XRoar should actually connect to pyDriveWire. We should see some messages show up over here. Yeah, a couple messages show up here, but I know that the Dragon and the pyDriveWire server are talking to each other. Now, the commands on DOS Plus are very, very different than what you would do in HDB DOS. And I highly recommend that you refer to the documentation. If you go back to the beginning of this thread and you look through the first couple of posts here, you will find the information that you need to be able to use it. So this DOS Plus add-ons, if you download this one, it has a document right here. It has a document which you can look at to get the information that you need to operate this. So we're not going to do DW load or mount, but what we really need to do is we need to do link and link. So the way that DOS Plus works is different than HDB DOS. And you can see this if you run the link command on the actual Dragon itself. I'll just make this full screen. So if I run link, DOS Plus has 4 disk drives. And what you can do with those 4 disk drives is you can assign them to either a physical disk drive, which would be drives units 1 through 4, or you can assign each one to a DriveWire drive, which is drive 5 or greater. So currently drive 3 is going to DriveWire drive 246, and drive 4 is going to DriveWire drive 245. That's not what I really want. I can change this linking. So if I say link, and I move drive 3 to drive 5. So now, when I'm here in XRoar, and I access drive 3, it's accessing drive 5 on the pyDriveWire side. So going back to the pyDriveWire, we have a disk mounted in drive 0, which is not useful to us. But we can actually mount, I have a disk image. I should double check this before we do it. I have this folder here, demo dragon. Okay, it's called Nyan Dragon. So what I want to do is DW server. Now, if you're going to be using Dragon only, you can change the entire server to DOS Plus mode. I'm going to go ahead and do this. You can also change it on a per disk basis. So now I can do DW disk insert 5. What was that called again? It's called nyandragon.disk. Okay, so I inserted this in disk 5. I can get a little information about this disk image by running dw disk info, and the drive was 5. It tells me what the size of the file is, how many sectors there are, and it even, well, for some reason it thinks it's a Cocoa disk. Well, that's interesting. DOS Plus mode may or may not work with this particular disk image. So let's see what actually happens if we try this out on the Dragon. So if I do a directory of drive 3, I should see the contents of the disk image that I mounted in DriveWire drive 5, dir 3, and there it is. That's the Nyan Cat demonstration. So let's go to drive 3 and load. So another thing that's different in Dragon DOS compared to RS DOS, we can just say load demo.bin, and it will happily load the file. And if I type exec, we get the nice annoying demo. Hey, but at least it's colorful, right? Alright, well I can knock the level of that down quite a bit. Alright, enough already. Yeah. Alright, so that's a quick little demonstration of, well, it doesn't work after running this file. I have to reset. Oh, the link changed, that's all that happened. There we are. So, that's a little demonstration of running DriveWire inside of XRoar and DragonDOS. So just wanted to make sure that this basic functionality works. And yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. So this concludes all of the demonstrations that I wanted to do for pyDriveWire release 0.6. So I'm going to get busy editing and getting all of these demos out. In doing all this testing, there are a few loose ends that I found, things that I need to button up and fix, things that are missing in the documentation. So I'm going to get busy on all this stuff and try to get my pyDriveWire release out for you guys. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed all the demos. Bye everyone!